entrepreneurs. If it's your first time here, I'm your host, Dr. Amanda, and you're in the right place if you're a growth-minded entrepreneur who's ready to align your energy, mindset, and habits to manifest a life and business you love. And today we're going to talk about how autopilot versus strategic habits set you up for business success. So the first question for you to consider today is, are you getting the success that you desire in your business? If I were hanging out with you in your office or wherever you're listening to this today, and we sat down and I asked you, hey, are you psyched with the money you're making? Do you enjoy the people that you're attracting? Are you spending your time doing stuff that brings you joy and income and impact in your business every day? And if you were like, yeah, I'm at a 10 in all of these areas, then that means that you have both your autopilot and your strategic habits set up for success. If you were to say, some of those areas are a 5, some of them are a 0, some of them are sometimes an 8 or a 10, but often I feel like I'm flailing and I don't know what I'm doing, or I feel frustrated and stuck, or I'm just not where I want to be in my business, then you have autopilot habits that are not setting you up for success. And what it means is that you need to learn how to strategically set up your business. And this is a habit. And so you're here because I love to teach you strategies to help you get aligned in your mindset, your energy, and your habits. And interestingly, if you think about it, your energy and the way that you feel is a habit. Your mindset and the way that you think is a habit. The actions you take in your business are a habit. And so really the key foundation of everything that you create in your life and business is based on a habit. And let's think about how autopilot habits get set up. This is really fascinating to think about because what I love about habits is that you can change them. You have the power to change them. What's challenging about habits is that they get set up when you're really young and you play them out over and over again in a law of attraction based way that causes you to continue the pattern and the cycle. And it feels autocatalytic, which means that you do something, you get a result, and then you either feel good or bad about that result, which causes you to do more of the thing. And it just keeps recreating the cycle. So if you have autopilot habits that are set up for you to go in a downward spiral trajectory, it means that you're going to struggle. And every year your business is either going to plateau or get worse and worse. If you're on an upward spiral trajectory, it means that you have strategic actions and habits that are setting you up for spiral expansive growth, where every year you're going to increase your income, your impact, you're going to feel better, you're going to do more of what you love. And that's magnetic to money because when you're in a state of joy and you're expanding to your fullest potential, you feel happy, you feel high vibe. And then you get that reflected back to you and the law of attraction works for you instead of against you. So I really think about the law of attraction as a system of success. If you really understand energy dynamics and how we're all energetic and we are living in a field or a frequency field, an energetic field that holds frequencies, then you will know that it's important for you to create the habit of getting strategic and strategically set up every day for success. So again, let's go back to autopilot habits. When you're born, you are getting downloaded with your habits. From ages 0 to 7, you are the most programmable because your subconscious, your brain is in a certain frequency, in a certain state where you are kind of in this daydream state and everything that's happening around you is getting downloaded and held and stored in your subconscious. So your subconscious mind is what stores everything that's going on around you. You don't have a filtration system to think, oh, is this something that I want to believe? Is this something I want to feel? Is what I'm watching what I want to be doing and carrying out in my life? Instead, you just watch, you learn, you observe, and all of it's happening unconsciously, and that gets stored in your subconscious mind, which then causes you to later in your life track for what you believe to be true because of our reticular activating system, or our RAS. It filters out information because think about how many things you see every single day. thousands of ads. We have so much stimulus going on at all points in time that our brain does a really good job of filtering out things that you're not looking for. A really fun way to check this out is if you just look around where you are right now and you look for everything that's, let's say, blue. So look around your room, look for everything that's blue, take note of it. And then when you come back and I ask you, hey, tell me everything that's pink or red without looking around, it's harder for you to remember the pink or red things because you weren't looking for it. This is the way that our brain operates at all points in time. And it's based on what's stored in our subconscious mind, which is something that's habitual because it's autopilot. So the way I want you to think about autopilot habits is that it's a repeated pattern of thoughts, feelings, decisions, and actions that over time become automatic. That's my definition of a habit. And they become autopilot when you repeat them so many times over time that it's just your habituated state. It's your autopilot state. Think about it like when you're driving somewhere, you don't have to look at the road signs because you've been there so many times, you know exactly where you're going. That's autopilot behavior. You getting in the car to drive is autopilot behavior. You don't have to reteach yourself every time you get in the car. You don't have to reteach yourself every time you cook spaghetti. You don't have to reteach yourself every time you go to do something in your business that you've done a million times, right? And that's autopilot. That's awesome because you are able to create extra energy to do things that you're learning because you have other parts of your brain that can store those autopilot behaviors. But like I said, when certain things got downloaded into your subconscious mind when you were a little kid, if they weren't setting you up for success, they're still there operating your system. And so, I've talked about this a lot in terms of money beliefs and the way that we establish our money mindset, because you got downloaded with certain subconscious beliefs, but then that plays out in your life and it becomes taken as just truth or the way that things are. And then you question and wonder, well, why can't I change this? And it's because it's an autopilot habit that's stored in your subconscious mind. You emit that frequency, you take actions based on those habits that are stored already, and you then recreate the cycle, and it creates this autocatalytic behavior where you go, oh, I do this thing, I get a result, even if I don't like it, I still don't understand how to change it because it's the expected result that I keep getting. And then you can, even as a really smart person, get stuck in this constant puzzle solving where you go, why am I this way? What's wrong with me? Why can't I figure this out? And as you're doing that, you are setting up more buy-in to that habit and the feeling of being stuck. And this just creates a downward spiral. So today I want you to learn how to start to question yourself and go, okay, how do I change a habit and how can I be strategic instead of autopilot? Anytime that you're learning a new behavior, you're going to have to be strategic. Then once you're strategic, you start to set up the new habit, and then over time it becomes automatic. So what we're doing is reprogramming our brain for success. So let me give you some examples and just play with this so you can really see how this works. I want you to ask yourself these questions. These are action step questions for you today to start to get strategic. So I want you to ask yourself these 5 questions. Number 1, is this feeling leading me in the direction of my success? I'm going to say all 5 of them and then I'll break them down. Is this thought leading me in the direction of my success? Is this decision leading me in the direction of my success? Is this action leading me in the direction of my success? And then if not, what's my strategic plan of action to build different habits? Okay, and let's break this down, because remember I said a habit, this is my definition of a habit, it's a repeated pattern of feelings, thoughts, decisions, and actions that over time become automatic. So that's why you've got to ask yourself, is this feeling leading me in the direction of my success? So identify first, what is your direction of success? A lot of people don't even take the time to do this. And so it's a habit for you to just take unconscious action. It's a habit for you to just get up and get on the treadmill of BS and do the work and get busy and not even slow down enough to ask, is what I'm doing working? right? So I want to train you to set yourself up for strategic habits, and strategic habits start with questioning yourself. They start with recognizing. So remember my 3-step inner power formula to transform your brain and reprogram your subconscious, aka habits, is number 1, to recognize, number 2, reframe, and number 3, repeat to reprogram. It's a habit transformation tool. So my inner power formula asks you to recognize first, is what I'm doing working? So are the feelings that I'm having on a regular basis that are on autopilot leading me in the direction of my success? If they are, rock on, you've got it. If they're not, then you must choose to reframe, and you must ask yourself, what's my strategic plan of action to build different habits in this area? So let's say in the feeling center, you wake up feeling stressed every day and you go check your email first thing, and you do a lot of things that don't set you up for alignment first thing in the day. Then your strategic plan of action here could be, I choose to start my day from a place of alignment so I can feel good, knowing that, like I've taught you here, through the law of attraction, you're going to attract to you based on how you feel. So first, you must get aligned in the morning by asking yourself, is this feeling leading me in the direction of my success? If it's not, then get strategic and create a plan of action that's going to create different feelings for you. Some examples of this would be journaling in the morning. It could be meditating. It could be exercising. It could be learning. And don't forget, I have an incredible, this program is so mind-blowing. It's changing people from the inside out with a very small daily habit. So just go to morningroutineforentrepreneurs.com, morningroutineforentrepreneurs.com. 7-day free trial. There are right now in there 90 journaling prompts for you, lessons. I mean, you could deep dive so powerfully into transforming yourself. And it's designed to be a daily habit to help you retrain your feelings, your thoughts, your decisions, and your actions to get success strategically. So those are some ideas around how to start to change, okay? Now, feelings. I want you to remember that if you're waking up feeling stressed, it means that you are setting yourself up for a future of resistance and struggle and strain, and you're going to make your business really hard to build. If you're feeling high vibe and at a 10, awesome. You don't need to change anything. And so when you ask yourself that, is this feeling leading me in the direction of my success? And you go like, heck yeah, I feel joy-filled, I feel great. Then check, you don't need to do anything there other than to continue doing what you've been doing. That means that you have autopilot habits set up for success. If you don't, then you got to get strategic and set up strategic habits by creating a plan of action. And I want you to start small. This means, okay, if I feel like crap when I wake up, what's one small step I can take to feel better in the morning? Maybe it's just waiting 15 minutes to check your email and doing deep breathing while you stare out your patio door at the birds. Maybe it's taking your dog for a walk first before you start your day. Maybe it's sitting down to journal. So you've got to get clear for yourself what it is that's going to change your feelings in the morning so you can get different results. That's a strategic habit, okay? Strategic habits take consciousness at first until you repeat them enough to when they become automatic, and then you can go on to the next habit. Okay, so is this thought leading me in the direction of my success? I want you to recognize and identify, are you beating yourself up on a regular basis? Where are your thoughts? If I could be in your head and follow you around all day and take a recording of your thoughts, would I walk away at the end of the day going, oh yeah, you are really empowered, you're feeling good, you're high vibe, you're setting yourself up for success? Or would I be like, oh dear, let's work on some mindset shifts for you because you're really stuck in inner critic beat up and you're being hard on yourself? Now, you wouldn't be alone if you are. We have 60,000 thoughts a day. Not up to 90% of them are the same as yesterday, and they're saying that 80% of them are negative. Scientists and researchers are showing that 80% of our thoughts a day are negative. That's wild to think about. So we really want to get clear on how we're thinking and how we're either cheering ourselves on or beating ourselves up. And so if when you ask yourself this question, is this thought, or you could say, are my thoughts every day leading me in the direction of my success? If the answer is no, then what's your strategic plan of action? A really simple fix here is to start with affirmantras. So programming your brain with positive statements. So here, I've been loving this one lately by James Clear. He says, I'm the kind of person who blank. You could just say, I'm the kind of person who enjoys positive self-talk. I'm the kind of person who prefers to be kind to myself. I'm the kind of person who enjoys being nice in the way that I think. I'm the kind of person who likes to focus on the good parts of myself, things like that. So that's a really simple mindset shift to start strategically training your brain in the direction of being kind and having positive thoughts that aren't beating you up. Okay, now let's think about, is this decision leading me in the direction of my success? At every moment you go to do something in your business, it's a decision. It's a moment of decision that then is going to lead to conscious action or unconscious action. So when you're making decisions, you want to ask yourself, is this decision leading me in the direction of my success? So let's say you're sitting at your computer, staring at the screen, and you're procrastinating and you're feeling stuck. You could ask yourself right then, you could recognize and notice, oh my God, I'm procrastinating. Is this decision to procrastinate and go down the wormhole of blank, social media or comparing myself negatively to other people or whatever the habit is it leading me in the direction of my success? Instantly, you can say no. If it's not something that's boosting you up, it's bringing you down. And so you can go no, and you can go, okay, what's a different decision I can make right now? What's a different decision I can make right now? You could Post-it note that question up on your computer so that you can remind yourself to check in and ask yourself, is this decision an autopilot decision that's bringing me into success or into struggle? There are really two sides of that spectrum. You're either in struggle or stress, strain and stress and struggle, or success and feeling good, right? Did I say struggle and stress? Struggle and success is what I was meaning. I think that's what I said. And so you want to be on the spectrum of success and not stuck in stress and struggle. And so you want to be asking yourself these questions. So Post-it notes are a great way to do this. You could set an alarm on your phone to remind yourself. You could have a check-in alarm on your computer go off every 60 minutes that asks yourself these 4 questions. Is this feeling leading me in the direction of my success? Is this thought leading me in the direction of my success? Is this decision leading me in the direction of my success? Is this action leading me in the direction of my success? Okay, so now let's talk about actions. If you notice yourself not taking action in the direction of your success, so an example here would be, that in order to get to the next level in your business, you need to be doing daily lead gen. But when you go to do it, you hesitate, you procrastinate, and instead of making 5 contacts per day or 10 contacts with new people per day, you make 1 or maybe none. So you want to be asking yourself, is this action leading me in the direction of my success? Clearly, if you are not following through on what you say that you are committed to doing to scale your business successfully, it means that you are not taking action in the direction of your success. And so what you need to do is create a strategic plan of action. So what's one small, fun, easy, satisfying way that you can change this habit? In James Clear's book, if you haven't read Atomic Habits, I think it's an absolute must read for habits. So one of the strategies he talks about is, he calls it the Paperclip strategy. And it's where you have 2 jars, and let's say it's sales calls, lead gen, DMs, contacting people to let them know about your business, your podcast, your book, your opportunities to work with you. Then every time you make a contact, you take a paper clip and put it from one jar into the other. And so he tells a story about a guy who makes 120 calls a day. He was a 23-year-old banker, financial guy. He got into this banking industry, and his goal was to make 120 calls a day. So he would move 120 paper clips from one jar into the other every single day. And within 18 months, he had gotten the company, his income, to $5 million, the investments in the bank to $5 million, and he had created a 6-figure income, and it just kept growing from there. And he was 23 years old. I mean, it's such a cool story. So anyone can do this. So what you could do is marbles, you could do paper clips, you could do pennies, you could do whatever you want just to visualize that you're taking action. And so that's a strategic plan of action. So then what happens is you create this fun way of creating a strategic habit that you can see visually, because every time you take the action that you know is going to lead you in the direction of your success, you're seeing the result right in front of you by moving the marble over or moving the paperclip or moving the penny over. And then you are noticing that you are following through, which builds your confidence, which starts to create a positive neural feedback loop that rewards your system for taking strategic action. Over time, what this does is creates an autopilot habit for success instead of one that's bringing you down, where instead of taking action, you sit at your computer, you hesitate, procrastinate, then that night you beat yourself up because you didn't do what it takes, and then you question whether you can be a successful entrepreneur, and the cycle starts all over the next day. Got it? Okay, so recap. The definition of a habit is a repeated pattern of feelings, thoughts, decisions, and actions that over time become automatic. Habits are stored in your subconscious mind. In order for you to change habits, you must use the inner power formula, which is number 1, to recognize, number 2, reframe, number 3, repeat to reprogram. And the 5 questions I want you to be asking yourself to start to program yourself strategically for new habits is this feeling leading me in the direction of my success? Is this thought leading me in the direction of my success? Is this decision leading me in the direction of my success? Is this action leading me in the direction of my success? And if not, what's your strategic plan of action to build different habits? And then just know that over time, when you repeat these new strategies, you will create autopilot habits for success. Oh yeah, oh yeah. And remember to check out the morningroutineforentrepreneurs.com, free 7-day trial. You can literally get in there without spending a penny and check it out and see if it's a good fit. It is a killer program if you want to change your habits and learn strategies every single day to build your business more successfully. It's an incredible program. You must try it out. So I expect to see you there. And until next time, I'm sending you giant hugs and inner power high five.